Hey there, it's Steve, Metal and Wood Channel. Okay, the topic's hot right now. Let's talk. I may move to some shade on this. There's a couple trees that are still alive here that I didn't cut down, and we didn't kill any trees. They were all dead. All the trees. Beetles, man, beetles infest the trees. But I think I need to share with the public a situation, and I want you to pass this on to everybody that you know that may be considering a port job. It took me a year to figure this out, maybe, or to really see all the evidence about it. But there's a group of people out there, mainly on YouTube and on some forums, and I call them the chainsaw cult because it's this tight-knit group of guys and it's all kind of stems with porting. There's one or two guys mixed in the middle that may deal with some clone saws, for example, like a Neotech representative or something like that. And I've found out that a big bore, like my big bore 372 chainsaw, it's a clone saw. I call them clowns. That big bore has got a lot of torque, and it's very, very powerful. And it didn't cost that much more money, I mean, I'm selling chainsaws for just what they think is just an enormous price, but my chainsaws are going to be roughly half or less than half of what a dealer costs, which is going to be maybe a couple $100 more than what you find on Amazon. But like this guy called me from Amazon, he's like, Steve, I bought a Neotech saw and the damn thing won't run. I mean, it's junk, and they don't even want it back. They're going to give me my money. So you order a Neotech saw, it's junk, it doesn't run. You contact Amazon, and wow, they got a wonderful return policy, and they give you your money back from a Neotech saw being junk. And I got two Neotech saws from Neotech, and they were both not performing well. One, we needed to really do a lot of adjustments on the carburetor, and I can't even remember the other couple things we might have done to that saw. And then the other saw had a loose bolt inside where the flywheel was, and that loose bolt ended up breaking the flywheel. And it's on the channel. It's all on the channel. I made a joke about throwing that 5800 in the trash can that night. But so here's what I'm noticing, and I want to thank Fab's Acres channel for really bringing this to my attention. You've got porters out there that act like they want to control. They want to like approve. It's maybe like a form, for example. Like, okay, the OPE form. So you got a person on the OPE form, and he runs it as the moderator, and you got to be approved to be a porter to get the business of porting. And if anybody else outside of that group of people wants to be a porter, then they're not approved, and then that group of people blackballs the other people that aren't really in this clique, which I call the chainsaw cult. So it's coming to my attention that they're complaining that I sell my premium grade saws because I control the parts in them, and they really are premium grade. You don't have to worry about, are they going to work? I've gotten all the headaches in these saws fixed and worked out. So I got a lot of people not wanting me to sell these saws for whatever reason. It's like they're obsessed with me and this success that I've come across with these saws, and they want to spread that it's just not true. Well, it is true. And really, I don't care whether I sell a saw or not. I've said that before. I sold more saws than anybody really has any clue about. When I was talking about how I'd only sold 12 saws on YouTube, nobody knew that there were hundreds and hundreds of saws being sold. And then I didn't even have a brand on them. And then now I have a brand called ProMag. And you could type in ProMag on Google and see how these saws have been sold around the country by the hundreds. I don't have headaches with these saws. I got people that love these saws. So this chainsaw cult, they don't want me selling my saws. So they've done everything they can to disparage me. So I've got to file a federal court action against them, a federal court lawsuit against them. But I've come to find out that these people that are porting these saws are like cutting up the cylinder, and maybe they're making the saw faster, but you don't even need to do that. There's other things you can do to the saw for less money from other people. And I'm going to try to post the guy's name. I can't remember his name. I got a text message about his name. He can do some really great work for just a couple $100, and it seems to be something that'll perform way better than these port jobs. I don't see these port jobs as something you got to spend $400 or $500 on. Especially, look, the dealer the manufacturer that makes Still, for example, in Husqvarna, they make a saw to perform at its maximum capacity. And you don't need anything more than that. If you need more than that, then you got to buy a bigger saw, or put a bigger cylinder in it. So there's ways that you can get around having to pay $500. I think we might be going somewhere. We going somewhere? You want company? Yeah, I need to. Yeah. Signing out. Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Take care.